Remember Amazon's reorder buttons? Well, we're going to recreate that, but in a much cooler and customizable way. After doing that NFC coaster project, I still have like 40 of these NFC stickers left. It's time to put them to use. Hit that subscribe button and strap yourself in. This is a great beginner project that's a ton of fun and quite versatile. Get comfy and let's begin. We're going to program this print to reorder us some hot sauce. For this, I wanted to have a chili pepper magnet that I can stick on the fridge. So I picked a vector chili pepper from Vecteezy. I'll put an affiliate link down in the description for it. Here we are in Fusion, and we're going to bring our SVG in. As usual, save your project before you begin, so that it's all ready for you when you want to save later on. Choose Insert, Insert SVG, and choose it from your computer. Pick the top plane as your sketch plane. We need to resize the chili pepper so it's a bit bigger than our NFC stickers, which are 25mm in diameter. We don't need to be too precise here since we just need to be a little bit bigger than that. I can tell by the axis labels how big the wide round part of the pepper is, and that's where I'm going to put the sticker. After resizing, it's the usual extrude command for each individual piece. First, I do the stem. I hit E for extrude, type in 3mm, and make sure the drop down is new component. Click OK, and my new component is created. Remember to show the sketch again since it gets hidden after the extrude. I renamed the component so it's easier to select it later in Bambu. I do the same next here with the stem shadows or whatever those things are. I select each one, and as you can see, they are split due to SVG lines, so make sure to pick all the parts of each piece that you're extruding. After the extrusion, I rename this as well. I do the same for the shine part and for the pepper body. Next, we want to create a place for the NFC sticker to live inside the pepper. For this, I'm going to create a cylinder. Remember that the NFC sticker is 25mm, so I'm going to create a 26mm wide cylinder to create the hole big enough for me to properly place. I'll leave the height at 1mm, though I could probably go half of that, or less. But this way, I'll know exactly where to pause the print later. We'll create the cylinder next to the pepper and move it to position it within the pepper body. We'll also move it down to the center of the body. We want to cut the space out within the pepper where the sticker will go. So we're going to click on the Combine tool and make sure the operation is set to cut. We now need to select the body as the target body and the cylinder as the tool body. You'll have to open up the component to get to the bodies that we'll need for the Combine tool. Make sure Keep Tool is not checked since we won't need the cylinder anymore. After that is done, we have our space inside the pepper. Since we want this to be a fridge magnet, we'll add a couple of small holes where the magnets will fit into. The magnets I have are the ones that my printer shipped with as extras. They are 8mm in diameter and 2mm in height. So to provide enough clearance, we're going to create a new cylinder that's 8.2 wide by 2.2 high. This will give us a nice tight press fit for the magnets. Ultimately, we'll need to crazy glue them, but with these properties, they'll be flush with the body of the print. We'll want to add these to the bottom of the pepper, so we change our view to the bottom plane. After creating our cylinder, we position it at the stem part. I didn't want to interfere with the NFC sticker, so I had to put it up there. That means that for each body that intersects the cylinder, we'll have to do a cut operation. So we go one by one and click Combine, then cut our cylinder out of the pepper, choosing to keep the tool as we go. If there's a way to select multiple bodies to cut through, let me know in the comments. I couldn't find it. Hey, if you made it this far, I would seriously appreciate a like, and if you're not subscribed, this is a great time to do it. I got some really cool things in the works, not just related to 3D printing, so I would appreciate your support. To making all the cuts to the top stem pieces, I move the cylinder to the bottom, where I want the hole for the magnet to be. I do the same cut operation, but this time I uncheck Keep Tool since I no longer need the cylinder. One last look at our pepper to make sure everything is good, and we can save it and export it. I'll export it as a step file, which will keep my components separate when we import it next into Bambu Studio. Now that we're in the slicer, let's get our pepper imported. Choose File, Import, and load it in. I have my filament all loaded up into the AMS unit, and we can now assign those colors to our model. In case you weren't aware, you can simply select the object in the panel and type in the number of the filament that corresponds to the color you want. You can see the numbers next to the colors in the Project Filaments section above the objects. You can see that by using components and exporting as a step file, everything came in the same way we had it in Fusion. I'm not going to modify any print settings here, but what I do want to do is flip the pepper upside down. This will make the magnet holes print on the top surface. This will eliminate any chance of bridge filament or supports in our holes, so our magnets will fit correctly. I do a slice here so I can begin figuring out at what layer I want to pause the print at. I can do it in any one of the layers before a hollow hole gets filled, so I'll do it near the beginning. Around layer 7 looks good. I right click on the layer marker and choose Add Pause. This will pause the printer at this layer so I can add my sticker in. After that, we're good to go. We'll send that to be printed and come back when it's paused. While the pepper is printing, it's time to prepare our NFC sticker. My NFC tags came in little strips of 4 or 6. Let's cut one out and prepare it. Since we'd said we'd order some hot sauce with it, let's go ahead and get ourselves an Amazon link for it. I think this is the one. The 1 gallon Frank's Red Hot. Because nothing says commitment like a bottle of hot sauce big enough to require its own dedicated shelf. So let's get the link and copy it to the clipboard. Then we go into our NFC Writer application. We paste our URL in and choose Write. We bring it close to our NFC tag and it finds it and writes it. When our print pauses at layer 7, it's time to put our sticker in. Watch me fumble to peel it off, and into the circular indentation it goes. A little rub for good luck, and we can resume our print. It will heat up again and continue printing. So I'll speed through this a bit and we'll come back to the print at the end. Our print is finished and it's looking great. Our magnet holes are clean and it's looking detailed. Let's flip it to see the front. Looking nice and sharp. Very happy with this. Now, let's add our magnets. I want to make sure they're facing the right way so that the polarity is correct. Watch me fumble with them trying to do that. These are pretty good magnets and very small for my sausage hands. Hey, look what time it is. Anyway, after getting the magnets in, let's give this one final test before we call it a day. We'll get our iPhone out and test it. Nice. With that, it's time to close it out. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Give it a like, leave a comment below on what you'd like to see next. And if you end up ordering the gallon jug, well, that's between you and your digestive system. See you next time on the Custom Corner.